Hey, fourth grade scholars. Glad to see you guys here again today. Today we're going over Module 1, Unit 1, Lesson 8. Today is September 1st, 2020. Today you will be completing your mid-unit assessment for Lesson 8, but you will also have this video to do as well. It is another deep dive into our book, Love That Dog. So let's go over your materials that you will need. You will need Love That Dog by Sharon Creech. You will also need your students' materials workbook, a pencil, your Google Classroom lesson, What Happens and How Does Jack Feel, pages 25 through 27. And remember, you will record your answers in the Google Doc. I'm going to go ahead and let you pause the video. And when you're ready and have all your materials together, you can hit resume. Okay, great. Glad that you guys have all your materials ready and are in a quiet place ready to learn. Our learning target for today, by the end of this lesson, I will be able to analyze what happened and how Jack felt about it. That will be our anchor chart that we're going to be looking at and what we will have been working on for the past couple of days. So now we're going to analyze exactly what happened and how Jack felt. Now this ties into what we will be learning later, which is identifying the characteristic of poetry in Jack's poem about the animal shelter. So I want to go over just a few characteristics. You're not going to write any of that down yet. I just want you to be aware, because when you take your mid-unit assessment, you will need to know what some of these characteristics are. So let's go ahead and we'll begin. We're going to open up your Google Classroom ESL. So I'm going to give you a chance to pause and open up your Google Classroom. And when you are ready, just go ahead and hit the resume button and we will continue. Okay, great. Now that you have your Google Docs open, it's going to look like this. You're going to have your Google slide, and then you're also going to have page 25, 26, and 27 of Love That Dog. So let me go ahead and we'll begin reading on page 25. Once again, let me remind you that this is a journal entry, and this is what Jack is actually writing to Miss Stretchberry, his teacher. Okay? We were going for a drive, and my father said, "We won't be gone long. You come too." And so I went, and we drove and drove until we stopped at a red brick building with a sign in blue letters, Animal Protection Shelter. And inside we walked down a long cement path past cages with all kinds of dogs, big and small, fat and skinny, some of them hiding in the corner, but most of them barking, and jumping up against the wire cage. And as we walked past, as if they were saying, me, choose me. I'm the best one. And that's where we saw the yellow dog standing against the cage with his paws curled around the wire and his long red tongue hanging out and his big black eyes looking a little sad and his long tail wagging as if he were saying, me, choose me. And we did. We chose him. And in the car, he put his head against my chest and wrapped his paws around my arm as if he were saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the other dogs in the cages get killed dead if nobody chooses them. Okay, boys and girls, That is a lot to digest. And so let's just take a look at our Google Slides and what we are going to try and answer today. So if you'll remember, we are looking at the pages, what happens, how does Jack feel about it, and how do you know? And you've got to have the evidence. You got to back it up. You got to back it up to support your answer. You have to look in the text. So I'm going to go ahead and click on our second document. The red lettering lets you know where we're going to be typing. And you all have already done all of these pages, so we're just going to continue right on with page 25 through 27. So you're going to type what happens here. We aren't using any feeling words right here. We aren't using any feeling words. You aren't going to say Jack is excited. No, that is not what we're using. I want you to tell me what is happening. What happens in these pages? So, Jack is try to, if I forget, I can always go back to my story. I can always go back and I can look and see where they have driven to. And so you would type in there, they drive to, and I'm just going to put blank, 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 and let you fill out where Jack and his family drove. And you can also write what they did when they drove there or what they found. So you could write Jack and his family drive to blank. And just tell me what they find. Now, the second column is telling me how Jack feels. This is where you use your feeling words. Now, you can just type out the feeling words. You don't have to write Jack feels. You can just type he feels and then tell me why. Why does Jack why does he feel happy? Blank, 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 and you're just going to tell me what causes Jack to feel happy. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to give me evidence on why Jack feels that way. So you're going to go right back into the text and you are going to look and see why Jack feels happy. Now, you could put that's where we saw the yellow dog standing, but that doesn't really give me a very good example of what makes Jack happy. I want a very clear cut example. We see here that all the dogs are saying, choose me, I'm the best one. And that he sees a yellow dog and he does actually pick the yellow dog. But what makes him know? What in the story do we know makes Jack happy? What do we know? What could it be telling us? What could be happening in the story that would give us the evidence that would tell us that Jack is happy? If someone tells you happy, thank you, does that make you happy? It does me. It makes me happy to hear someone say thank you. So think about that when you're answering your questions. Now, once again, I have included all of the information that you need on the Google Docs, on your Google Classroom, on your assignment. The video will be there as well. You can also look in YouTube for the video. And until our next video, I will see you guys in class. I know you've got this. You are super smart. You've been doing this for a while. So I expect everyone to do a great job. All right, guys, I believe in you, and we will see you in class.